Brent Bozell in the mix because there is a little bit of history. There is a little bit of precedent to this. Brent, very good to see you. Happy New Year. We remember with Ronald Reagan, he was dismissed as just sort of an in-over-his-head actor who was suddenly thrust into the most important office in the land, neglecting to mention he was also a two-term governor of California. I even went back in time. The only one here who probably was there to report on it was you, Abraham Lincoln. very ill will expressed toward him that he wasn't up to the job. Now, I'm not comparing either of these gentlemen to the present occupant of the Oval Office, with the one big difference being that they were dismissed out the gate. What do you think?
Yeah, you might not want to compare the two, but you can compare the media coverage of the two.
Right.
And it's pretty much the same thing. You know, Ronald Reagan was Dr. Strangelove with his foreign policy. They're seeing Donald Trump as Dr. Strangelove. Ronald Reagan was an idiot. Donald Trump was an idiot. Interesting thing here. Ronald Reagan, Bill Buckley once called Ronald Reagan the smartest president in history because Ronald Reagan knew how to go over the head of the media and communicate directly with the public. Donald Trump has done that. Nobody can argue that. Donald Trump has done that as well. And the third one is, well, then he's got to be senile. Both of them have been attacked this way. So, yeah, the similarities really are there.
But Brett,
President Trump was right to bring it up.
I don't think you can actually compare the great communicator in Ronald Reagan to the great tweeter in Donald Trump. I mean, that's the difference here. Donald Trump is reviled by, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. 60% of the American public don't approve of him.
That's not true.
Well, you're reviled by 70%.
Charles,
I'm not president.
That's not true.
No, yes, it is. He's not the great communicator. And the reason why Ronald Reagan was able to rise above it all is because he was, at bottom, a well-read guy.
And he didn't care.
And he
didn't care about that.
You know what?
He didn't.
He was a decent guy.
Well, and
He was
Ronald,
brilliant,
can you
thoughtful,
imagine Donald Trump ever
and not
having
giving
the
credit
challenger
his lifetime
moment,
for that.
addressing a national crisis,
Yes.
lifting everyone up? Donald Trump, I don't think he has that kind of self-awareness.
You don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
We've had a couple tragedies, and he hasn't been able to rise above and bring everyone together.
I thought, the markets went up something like 300 points around this time last year, when he gave his State of the Union address.
Right.
A little later.
Right.
The reason why they went up is because he was Reagan-esque. He has it in him.
He is
now,
perfectly capable.
Well, I also think a lot of that was so surprised that he delivered the goods that he did.
Right.
And I don't mean that to besmirch the president, but Brent, the fact of the matter is the left is seizing on this as maybe the latest ammunition it needs to get rid of him. And I don't know if it's going to go any better than some other attempts to seize on every development, every Russian potential tie to say, this is it, this is it, this is it. And it's never it. What do you think?
Well, 2 points. I want to go back to the last discussion, which is true. Like I said, don't compare the two men. However, listen to the speech that Donald Trump gave in Warsaw last year. It's as good as anything Ronald Reagan ever said.
Was.
Well, that's a very good point.
Right.
Very good point.
That's right.
That said, if you look at the new rules today, they hate Donald Trump so much that they're even saying, well, if it's only 50% true, that's good enough for us.
But basically what we
if it's
pointed out is
exaggerations,
Donald Trump is really good when he's on teleprompter, but when left to his own devices.
But don't you think
He's-
there's something to be...
but-
Let me answer this, because I talk to a lot of liberals and all of that, and I have a family of liberals on it. And one of the things that happens is that you get so caught up in your hatred. I can see what feeds it. To Charlie's point, he does a lot of unlikable, contemptible things. His manner, his way he treats his friend, the way he treats his cabinet officials. We wouldn't do that to our worst enemies. Just my own knee-jerk read.
Absolutely.
Having said that, I mean, do you think you're so consumed with hate that it's blinding you to getting this guy kicked out of office? Because it'll never happen. You have not been able to support a field of candidates who can articulate a position. Hence, everyone relying now on Oprah from a Golden Globes appearance. That's pretty sad.
I've warned Democrats for the last year. We need to be talking about kitchen table issues.
But you're not.
I am.
Are you really?
I am. We've talked about this.
Their idea
this is why I'm exploring
kitchen
a run
table
for
is
the New
like
Jersey
a five-star
Senate.
restaurant.
Bravo.
This is exactly why I'm exploring a run for the New Jersey Senate, because
All right.
Democrats haven't been able to talk about main table issues, how we're going to put food in people's fridges, how we're going to send people to school.
And he's doing that, Michael. That's just
You
it.
think so?
Absolutely. The president is dedicated to getting results. And Charles, as you said, he's doing the
He
things
steps
that
on
will
his own
get
accomplishments.
results.
He
But
does.
doing
He's got to
it. It doesn't-
inspire people
even
while doing it.
Despite
Here's
whatever.
The thing. The markets, just let's give a
Whatever
little more
his
perspective
manner.
of the markets and the economy. the Obama recovery lasted 7 years. Generally, that's a cycle.
Can you call it a recovery, Charles?
It isn't, but let me
Was
just.
it better than what we had before?
No, I put
double-digit
Can I just make this point? Let me just make
it
this
was
point.
not as
Make
good
the
as what it
point.
could have
Let me
been.
just make the
Sorry.
point. Make it fast.
The recovery was 7 years. Usually that's the end of an economic cycle, right? Market basically had no correction during this time. What we should have got with Donald Trump was a massive correction in the markets and a dip in GDP. The opposite occurred. That is a major, major accomplishment. He has stepped on his message.
Many times.
But nonetheless, what prevails is that the
It's not
improvement in
prevailing.
people's lives. It's not about
60% of the people can't stand
They don't feel it.
They are going to feel it ever more. People are going
We shall
back
see.
to work. 2 million people in 2017.
All right, I want to thank you all. Brent, upon a great knowledge and history. I appreciate that. Michael, I guess you are as well. But I'm kidding.